Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being with us here. We are launching our Winter Spring 2021 series, which I really was not sure if we were going to be able to because with everything going on with my husband, but we are here, we're live, we have a full season plan from now until April 30th, right? So it's going to be lots of fun. But I wanted to start off by just saying thank you so much, everybody, for all of your prayers, your love, your energies, your blessings, your contributions, everything. Thank you. You've all been amazing. I was not expecting such an outpouring of love and support. I'll be honest, I was not expecting it. So it was such a gift and blessing for me. And I want to let you all know that as of today, my husband is out of the ICU. He's in a regular room, whatever that means, but he's stable. He's doing well. He's like able to sit up and eat in a chair. I think today they tried to like walk with him in the hallway. I think that's what they said, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll find out tomorrow. But he's doing so much better. So thank you. I'm just so grateful. And all of your prayers and everything, that is what has helped him to recover so quickly, right? It's been 44 days. 44 days, which is a miracle number, right? And so, I just want to thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so keep praying, please, and keep contributing. I would appreciate it so that the sooner he can get home to me, the better, right? So that would be awesome. All right, so we are so excited, like I said, to be launching this new season, full-on shows, like 3 days a week, sometimes 4. And so we're excited because it's a magical time. The energy is like really high right now. And it's, in the Facebook post where I had mentioned all the guests who will be on, so many people have mentioned magical. And that's how I feel too, that it's a magical time. It's a magical season. Anything is possible. And so what is possible for you? So we're starting off today, this season, with my good friend, Cathleena Hailley. And I'm excited about, speaking with Cathleena. We're going to be talking about uncovering your true feelings. What does that mean? What does that look like? And so part of what we're going to talk about how your beliefs have created your physical body, right? And shut down your creative process. We're going to talk a little bit about a beginning understanding of what influences you have concerning your physical body. So we're talking about the physical body, we're talking about the emotions and what you're feeling, we're talking about the mind, we're going to be talking about resetting your crystalline DNA, we're going to be talking about the Torus Motion, what that is, the grid system, and so much more. And so Cathleena, knows a lot about this, and so she's going to be sharing her wisdom with us, her energies, frequencies, and she's going to be sharing a process with us. We're going to be taking live caller questions as well. So for those of you who don't know Cathleena, she is an embodiment of the divine feminine and life architect who works with the Council of 9 Collective, and in particular with Jesus, Metatron, and other ascended masters. And her coding accesses the womb water of an individual's birth so that they are brought back to their original soul expression, creating a rebirth to allow full expression of the soul's imprint. As the lineage of the life architect crystalline DNA signature not only carries the frequency of perfect pitch to align to the original human template, earth template, and this universe's template that continually recalibrates this alignment. So there's a lot of scientific, you could say, information here. So we're going to talk to Cathleena about all of that. She has incarnated as an Arcturian and Andromedan and as a member of the Council of 9 Galactic Collective. So she brings a lot of knowledge and wisdom to our show, talking about the crystalline DNA, talking about resetting, talking about the Taurus, all of that, and the human template, etc. So we're going to talk to Cathleena about all of that and so much more. It's going to be an exciting conversation, an exciting call. We're also going to talk about her frequency adjuster that she channeled and downloaded and brought to fruition in this world, which is a really beautiful tool, magical tool, and it's something that will help you as well in your day-to-day life. So Cathleena, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Laura. Wonderful to be here again, and so happy that your husband is sounds like on the mend, and all the love and support that you have. And I think that's beautiful and wonderful, and very, very happy that it worked out that you can have this season. So
right, thank you. And thank you, and I'm glad that you're here, and thank you for your support as well, because let's face it, all of all of my guests, all of my colleagues, all of my clients and community, it's been a team effort, right? It's been a team effort. And I couldn't have done it alone, right? So thank you. So Cathleena, I want to get started and just start talking about, emotions, well, feelings. And what does that mean, uncovering your true feelings? I want to get started there, and then I want to continue talking about the Torus, the crystalline DNA, and etc.
Yeah. Well, gosh, it's such an amazing time for all this to come forward. And, with the way the energies are all showing up, and we're really at this precipice of this timeline shift that's going on now, right? Between this consciousness that's been on the planet for 250,000 years, basically, and the new earth. And so this particular topic today is very poignant and kind of perfect for where we are, because this entire process that we're going through in this timeline shift is really shifting from the mind to the heart, or shifting from, the sort of false mental masculine frequencies to the divine feminine spiritual frequencies of the heart. And so this little course that we'll be talking about, that I'm doing actually today when we talk about the Torus. So the Torus motion is actually, it's kind of like if you look at a donut and you imagine going in and out of the donut, this is the motion of that. And that's actually the physical motion in our heart. And what that motion creates is called the unified field. And the unified field is where all things show up in the physicality. And so this unified field is basically all ranges of frequencies, and our emotions are ranges of frequencies. So when we create, and there's an actual creative process that we go through as human beings, we have a thought that comes out of our head, and that thought is a geometric shape. And that geometric shape, actually, we give it an emotion. That emotion is the fuel. The fuel pushes it into the unified field. And then depending on the frequency of that fuel, which is the emotion has a frequency to it. So depending on what that emotion basically we give to our thought or our creation, that is a frequency. Depending on what that is, there becomes a match for that in this unified field. What we've been doing in terms of our emotions is that, when we start out in life, in the very, very beginning, we are our soul signature. We're literally our soul signature. And so we are in absolute pure presence, and we're at the resonance of our soul signature. But once we start to understand communication, language, and so on, we become what we are told we are. And once we do that, then our emotion, and we are indoctrinated with the base emotion on this planet is fear. So literally our foundation is fear. And so because we are indoctrinated as fear as our base emotion, every other emotion basically we're having is in the range of fear still. And so an example of that might be that you might think that you're feeling authentic joy, but what you're most likely feeling is, usually what will happen is people will have this idea of joy because they are leaving something, not because they are authentically in the now moment having an experience of joy. It's that I'm feeling joy because I'm no longer feeling pain. And so that's what I mean by that means that idea of the frequency of joy is actually still in the frequency of fear. And that's where it becomes a little bit tricky. And so why this is important is when you're talking about your creative process and who you are as a creator being, there's 3 layers of this torus field that creates this unified field. And so there's a mental, physical, and spiritual layer. We're talking about the spiritual layer today. And so literally those emotions that are non-authentic, you've been using in your creative process. And so therefore, and we're talking about the creative process too, we're talking about your entire life, whether it's your relationships, your relationship with your body, with your work, with your family, you know, at all, any relationships and anything that you've had in your life, you're using these, we'll say, non-authentic emotions as your fuel to create them. And so if you're wondering why your life isn't quite what you want, and you don't quite know how to get there, and you don't know how to do it, it's because you're not authentically feeling these ranges of emotions that are available. So this is kind of the process, and what I do is get you to the 0 point. So we want to clear all of that false and clear that in, you know, fear frequency from the base, bring you into the 0 point, so that we can create that layer of this toroidal field with the authentic frequencies and emotions of your true experience, so that whatever you're creating is authentically for you.
Absolutely. So of course, my first question is going to be, well, how do you know that you're not feeling it authentically? Like, how do I know that I'm not authentically feeling joy? So sometimes, you know, when I'm outside, especially in nature, it usually happens, and I'm just overcome with joy at seeing the sun or seeing the greenery of the fields or hearing the birds chirping. I mean, to me, that seems like authentic joy. It doesn't seem like I'm running away from fear.
Yeah, because at that point you are in authentic joy. Because that is the way, right? It is being in the now moment without judgment. It is actually in the pure experience. Yes. Yeah. So when you are in the actual pure experience, in the now moment without judgment, is when you are in those authentic frequencies. Yes.
Yeah. And I think more and more of us are starting to experience that, because we are, in my work anyways, we are focused on being present, present here and now, right? And feeling what you're feeling, right? So if you're feeling, you know, joy, you know, gratitude, it's, you know, especially, you know, it's like, those are real, true feelings. And there are other times, of course, where I'm like, I'm feeling relief, you know, like, so today I'm feeling relief, right? Yeah. Right. So, and then that is, you know, originally fear-based. I get that part, right? I get it. I was in fear, you know, my husband's in the hospital, I'm in freaking fear, right? And so today I'm relieved because he's better. So, so I know that is that the link to that was the fear, right? So that's the difference, right?
Yes, and on another level, you know, in the heart itself is an actual technology, and there is a heart complex we'll talk about, that's actual geometry of the authentic relationship, let's just say, of this toroidal field. And so as you step into that now moment more often, you can literally reorganize what we'll call the heart complex, you know, the technology, so that it's functioning all the time at your authentic you. So you have to kind of imagine that, you know, you as your soul being is always at, you know, pure, whatever your frequency is, and pure love, pure light, that. And it's interacting with the physical body, that the physical body has been engaging in these non-authentic frequencies. So even when you step into that 0 point, and yes, you're having an authentic experience, but the heart complex in the body isn't necessarily resonating at this point, because you've had your lifetime of all these other non-authentic experiences. So it is as simple as stepping in, but it's a repetitive stepping in continually in that 0 point now moment without judgment.
Yeah.
In order to kind of clear and clean. And what we're doing here, and what we will be doing, is cleaning out, so to speak, that those frequencies or those energies, those emotions that have not been authentic.
And those inauthentic emotions and feelings, they've been, you know, in our field, in our cellular memory, in our cells for a very long time. You know,
very long time. Yes.
Eons.
Yes, exactly. Because it's through lifetimes and lineage and contracts, and there is still right now, of course, this amping up, particularly through technology, all of these false frequencies. And really what it is it's a range. You know, we have on this planet the largest available range of frequencies of any other planet. And the authentic frequencies are love, truth, beauty, goodness. These are the authentic resonance frequencies that Source had in mind. But what we've been kind of convinced to experience is a very, very small range. And that small range is in those frequencies of fear and competition, you know, jealousy, a lot of those types of things have been playing out in the collective.
Yeah, for sure. But, you know, slowly we are starting to get, you know, most of us who are on these types of calls, we're starting to, you know, be aware of some of our patterns, some of our behaviors, some of our habits, some of our thoughts and feelings that we have on a frequent or consistent basis. And we're starting to recognize them, be aware of them, and at the same time, transform them and transmute them, right? We're starting to, but still, there are still sometimes, you know, like you said, there are layers and layers and layers and layers, and it can sometimes feel like it's taking a long time.
Yeah. Only because it can feel repetitive, because I always say that this is like the simplest thing, but the most challenging thing, because the real simple thing is to throw away everything that isn't you, you know, to become you. But it's that story of, well, what isn't me, you know, and the trust. It's really a lot of trust and faith. It's trust, faith, and surrender is the process, right? You know, you allow yourself to, you have to become the observer of yourself. And the more that you can become the observer, and what I find is if you can become the observer and you begin to ask, what is my mirror? You know, from inside yourself, you're observing yourself and you're asking yourself, what is my mirror? In other words, how do I experience myself? How do I see myself literally if I look in the mirror, but also from an internal perspective, how am I seeing myself? How am I feeling myself? And if you just do that as a curiosity and you begin to ask yourself that question, and you're doing it from an observer perspective, then you can begin to say, well, wait a minute, you know, is that really me? Do I align with that? You know, whatever that vision is, because we have so many stories, so many people and events and things have told us who we are, from everything from culture to, you know, whether you're woman or man or how your age or any, I mean, there's just so many dialogues that have gone on. And the process of this is unwinding what is the dialogues that are playing out. And of course we have the conscious dialogues, but then all of the layers of unconscious dialogues and all through the levels of lineage and so on. But if we can just keep observing, you know, from an observation perspective, where you're just asking, you know, and you can feel it. Like for me, it's on many levels. If I do that process, I feel it, I hear it, I see it, you know, you'll get, depending on you, I mean, literally a person will pop up in your vision. And that may be, you know, literally the person that person's saying something to you, or it may be their energy that is with you, that is telling a story to you, that's an identity, all these things. And this is the process that's going on now for us, that it's happening at a very fast rate, because timelines are just spinning and things are spinning. But this is this idea of really stepping into the authentic you, is becoming just a more curious observer of your reflection, your own, like I keep saying, your own reflection. You know, and if people do this, if they have a private session, we go into this and actually really work with this a lot. And it's pretty fascinating, and it moves energies very, very fast. So.
And the thing is, you know, are we willing to actually look at who we are? Are we actually willing to be the observer? Because we might not like something about ourselves, right? Yeah. And so, or we might, you know, have this fear that, okay, I've pushed all this stuff down that from the past. It was too painful. I couldn't deal with it then. There's no way I can deal with it now, right? I don't want to deal with it now and have it mess up my life, right? So a lot of times people don't want to look at themselves, really know who they are because of baggage, we'll say, right?
Yeah.
And the baggage and also the perceived judgments from other people. When you start to say, oh my God, remember when this happened? And they're like, no, and even memories, that we have are not always valid, right?
Yeah.
They're not always true.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yes, but if you think about it, that what helps to, I guess, if you decide to go through this process is you get to you. I mean, that's the bottom line. You get to you. And so all those things, yeah, the whole idea of fear is not an authentic frequency. Fear, we have been indoctrinated by, right? And fear is what's considered a chaos frequency. And that's why it feels very chaotic. You can't really grab it. It's confusing and so on. And so this idea of having any fear of looking at myself, of bringing it up, is a huge indicator that I am not authentically me. And here's the thing, it goes in layers also in your own existence. So if you're having any physical things in your body, this is why. And if you want to release those, and I've seen and I've worked with magical things, cancers dissolving completely, MS leaving the body, diabetes leaving the body, all these things leaving the body very instantaneously in various different levels, all kinds of things, simply because you stepped into your authentic you, and that you were holding that and bringing those in for all these ways in which you were holding your life in a way that wasn't authentically you. And this is the thing. And so, yes, the mind, the false matrix mind tells us that it's scarier to release this into the unknown than to be in the unknown. But the truth, which is coming forward, and one thing I say all the time is everything's backwards in human existence. And so the real truth is that it's actually scarier to be in the known than the unknown, only because, and not scary really, but it's limited. There's a limit there, right? Yeah. And so yes, it is. I think it becomes easier when you can truly observe that you're not really happy, that it's exhausting to hold my life in a certain way, right? That, oh, I can't say that, or I have to do that. I mean, that's exhausting. And so what do you think happens to the body? The body becomes exhausted and breaks down. And aging, this will create the aging process. It creates definitely all kinds of things in the physical body. I mean, so it's, I think when we can truly observe our own existence, it really becomes easy to let go of those things, because you really realize, wow, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
To hold on to them, and they have no meaning, really. I know all the stories, and yes, we have so many stories about that. I can't leave my relationship because of this and that. But if you really get honest with yourself and you make decisions on how happy you are, it's like, are you really happy in your relationship? Are you fulfilled? Are you growing, in your body and everything? I mean, it really,
it's time to ask those questions. Are you really happy? Like last year was a shit year for everybody. I'm just gonna say it was for everybody. It was a shit year, but it's like, all right, now moving forward, how do you want to proceed, right? So for me, yes, last year was a shit year, but I'm not taking last year with me moving forward. Right? Exactly. Yeah. It's like, that was then, this is now, and I'm choosing to move forward with grace, with ease, with support and trust and faith, and knowing that somehow it'll all work out, because so far it's working out, right? So it's like, it will all work out. So what do I require? Right? Yeah. And it's asking that question too, like, what do I need? What do I require so that I can move forward with more ease? So I can have more trust and faith and etc. Yes.
And we're just on the precipice of knowing who we really are, and who we really are as creator beings, and how profound emotions are. We've been guided to use the mind and to figure it out and to do all this from the mind, but that's not the creative process. The emotions are the creative process. We as energy, as frequency, are creator beings, and we create through our emotions. And when we can have those exhilarating emotions of joy and excitement, there's an amazing creative process that takes place where our soul signature, our frequency literally radiates out, because this is how the process is, right? Is that whatever goes on in here is what is matching out there. Mm-hmm. It's not what we've been guided to do, right? Is to, experience whatever we think is out here and shift ourselves to that. That's the false matrix, right? But the actuality of creation is here. This is the millionaire. This is the amazing life, everything in the physical body. So you have all the tools and everything right here. So if we actually experience ourselves and can allow ourselves to be in that divine now zero moment and just step forward into pure experience of whatever that is, I mean, really, we can create whatever it is that you desire. Your only limits are the limits in which you believe. Mm-hmm. And I get it that there's an unwinding process, of course. That's why we're here. We're here to help that. I'm here to help that, to support that, to create that 0 point space and allow you and encourage you and to move in those frequencies and shift those things. But kind of, if you can, everybody can just get excited and start to say, wow, this is so cool that truthfully, I get to discover who I am and be in this divine now moment and truly create the life that I really desire to live, because we haven't been taught that. We've been going, no, you get that and you get that. And that's not true. None of that's true. And it's all down to the simple place of right here, just feeling it, and that's what we're not, everybody not everybody, but mm-hmm. A lot of the collective bypass this, right? No, forget that's not, no, got to be logical. And that is not the creative process.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, whenever I followed my feelings, more like my heart and what it wanted to do, it's been magical. Whenever I followed my head, it didn't work out.
Exactly. That's so true. Yeah.
Logically, no, but from your heart, what feels good, what feels joyful and feels expansive, that has been always magical. So that's why I try to always follow my heart, follow my feelings, what feels good to me, right?
Yes, exactly. And then that's your authentic.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So we have some questions. Gina is asking, do you need to go into a session knowing what you want to clear, or do you help us determine what we need to clear?
You do not need to come in with what you want to clear. If you do, we can certainly talk about that. But no, absolutely. I step in. So how I work independently with people is that I'm always in a person's energy once I start talking to them anyway, because as a frequency alchemist, I feel, and I'm never really arbitrarily talking. So I'm already there and I start observing. And then when I actually step in, I see what I call the human template. And on that template or with that shows up whatever's immediate, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual. I can see timelines, I see past lives, I see implants, whatever. And so, I'll work with all of those things with you. If you have something specific, we will talk about that. But quite often, the minute that you bring it forward, it starts to alchemize and we're working with it right away. And we go into lots of other layers. So kind of all the above.
Awesome. And so Caroline has her hand raised as well. Caroline, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my beautiful. I'm so grateful for the good news. So grateful.
Thank you.
Love you to bits and pieces. I'm in a bit of a funk with everything that's happening or that hasn't happened in the past 10 years with manifesting and what I want. I didn't get my early retirement. And I'd like to know why. How what did I not create there? Because when they told me, when I got the email saying, no, we cannot, blah, 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 and the reasons why, it was like someone telling me I was a man. I was so dumbfounded that what? Like every cell in me was ready to just go. So that's just one aspect, but I haven't been able to manifest what I want. And I've been on the same track for a lot of years. I bought a lot of programs, done a lot of healing, many sessions. So I'm a little bit at my wits' ends, in a bit of a depression.
Uh-huh.
So let's see what Cathleena has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Well, you know, what we're talking about here is, you know, in frequency and energy, it's the frequency and energy in which you're in. And so just even what you described, like looking for something that's going to be the ticket. This is the thing that's going to get me somewhere, that's going to free me up, means that you're never in the energy of freedom. And so it's not possible to get there. And this is a little bit of the confusion about what I'm talking about the false frequencies and emotions. So we have to recognize that I'm already in the energy of free. I am free. I am, you know, the safety, this energy. We have to feel that internally. And that is the frequency of the abundance and life energy. And what happens is that we're not feeling that because we think something external is my safety. And I know that this seems challenging because we've had a 3D world that has convinced us of this, but that's not how it works as energy. As an energy being, if we recognize our own divinity. So what I feel with you is you're shut off to your own light. And if we did a session, that's what I would do, is I would bring your light into you, because that's what's happened. It's like steadily allowing my own light to be siphoned out, and to have this idea that something external is going to somehow bring that to me. And you may not know that you're saying that literally, but that's in essence what you're saying. So if you want to begin to shift this yourself, you have to let go of all the life that you feel you have, which obviously you're feeling you don't really have anything anyway, so you honestly don't have anything to lose. And it's quite literal in that energy. And it's not a giving up in the way of like ending my life in the way that the world is talked about, but it is a giving up of this idea of what this life is that I've created, because there isn't creation in that life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right now that's not penetrating anywhere.
Yeah, because there's an energy where you're looking for a solution that's in your mind, and you need to go in your heart, and you need to feel everything that you're feeling. See, there's just a lot of story that you're feeling. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration. You need to feel those. You need to let all that happen. You need to really feel those. And I know we say, but I felt those and I can't, but you haven't. And to really go into that and let that all just come out, like you're
I have had sessions where I scream and yell and cry and shake for 2 days and feel it again. And I've done that over and over and over and over again for the past 15 years. So I have.
Okay, but
right now I'm a little anxious and all that.
Yeah.
You're feeling the right now, but this is not who I am regularly.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is not judgment. Okay, I'm in a 0 point with you, but you're feeling a judgment. That's the energy. That's what I'm talking about. It's like when we can let go, just let go. There's no judgment. actually be in the now moment and expand that light within that, you will be amazed what shows up in your world. It's only that unintentionally you're holding your light closed. That's what I feel in your energy. And I know we say we've done tons and tons of work. I get that. But the thing is, if we're only doing it from the mind, but we're not allowing for our true emotions to come to the heart, it doesn't change. It can't change.
So I know that Caroline has done a lot of work. You know, she's a healer herself, and so she has done a lot of work with different people. So Caroline, yeah. I would suggest that you go back and watch this later and really listen to what Cathleena is saying, because you're not going to get it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your walls are up, right? Your defenses are up. You're angry and upset and frustrated, which I totally get, right? So you're not going to really hear the message right now. And I'm saying that with total compassion. You know that. You know me. You know I love you.
Yep.
Okay, so I want you to watch or listen to this again later, okay? And wait for the process. I know you've done this process before, but it's always different. So stay for the process and then see how you feel.
So Cathleena, one last question, just generally,
Sure.
And this may be my expectation from ego, but does life actually change when you do these sessions? And let's say I am where you say, you know, not judgmentally,
Yes.
but you know, that I'm not letting the light in, I'm not accepting and letting go and all that, and I can feel that.
Yes.
Does life ever actually change?
Yes. 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 Because the thing is being able to be in the 0 point. Like which I am stepping in more, and I can feel your resistance in that. But when we can release the resistance, when we can allow for the space to come forward, it's not going to come through the mind. I have to speak to your heart. So if you're hearing, because what's happening is you're hearing through your mind. So I'm constantly shifting your energy back down into your heart. This is what you're going to be feeling, which is going to make you feel spaced out, because that's what I'm doing to you right now. I'm purposely taking you out of your mind. And as I continue to do that and move you deeper into your heart, we can expand that complex and begin to take out, because I feel a tremendous amount of false masculine. I can feel the father that's in there. I can feel the relationships they're pulling. I can feel them clearing and moving. And so that's what would occur. We have to, step in and be able to allow for those energies and that particles. And that's what I would encourage you to do, especially as I do the process today, that I'll do part of that, allow that, because I can already feel that your light is getting brighter around your heart, but there's a tremendous amount of protection. Sometimes when we know too much, and we dialogue too much to ourselves. And what I feel with you is you're way too hard on yourself because you have too much knowledge. And so what you're doing is you're dialoguing instead of just saying, okay, we can have traditional knowledge and we have all this energetic knowledge. But it's not, but allow yourself permission to go, that doesn't have any meaning if I'm not feeling, because you came here to feel. And you do have a tremendous amount of knowledge. I'm feeling you tremendously. But it's allowing that heart to just keep expanding in that very childlike curiosity, innocence, brand new. You can let yourself be there with all your knowledge. As you feel right now, what you're starting to feel, you can start to feel happier and lighter, because I can start to feel it in you right now. You feel that?
So yes, I have had sessions where I get to feel again, the joy of just seeing the sunshine and being with my dogs.
Yes. And can you feel this?
Half an hour later, an hour later, the day later, it always comes back up to, I hate life.
Yeah, that's only because there's a tremendous amount of frequencies that are just aligning, and you're allowing those to come back. That's why we have to be able to step in and remove those, the key players, so to speak. That's what I do, that in terms of the energy and the work. But then we have to, again, I can feel where it is. It's because, and you just did it. Okay, you just did it. I expanded your light out because I could see it, and you just contracted it. So just feel that in your heart. And what you just need to do is use your breath and expand your own light. It's just your light's encased because of a lot of dialogue. So if I work with you, we have to take it out further. It's encased.
And then will my menopause go away? Will I get my farm? Will I get the money? Will I get a better relationship? Will something change?
Well,
and that's my last words.
Yes, of course. But I think it's, you know, I think what will change is what you really desire. I think when you really feel what you're really looking for, because what you're really looking for is for your light to shine.
And I think that's what we're all looking for, right? Yeah. Thank you, Caroline. I know that was tough. And I know that, you know, you're going through a difficult time. I get it.
Absolutely. And you have a beautiful energy, and absolutely.
But I'm glad you shared, and because this is helpful for everybody, because yes, we all feel this at times, and sometimes we wonder, is anything going to change? Like, if I do this session, if I do that session, is it really going to change? I don't know anymore because I've done so many. I get that, you know. Trust me. Like,
yes. And look, I'm not absent of that because I've done that, but there's a difference, okay? Because the key in this is, if I'm looking for a fix, I will never get the fix, because it's I am that, okay? I am source. Source doesn't get fixed. It doesn't work that way, okay? But if I am genuinely in a place that I am, you know, aware of my light, and I'm expanded enough in my light, and I'm recognizing that there's a resonance in this particular energy that can help me expand my own light, then that's different, right? Because again, the old paradigm, 3D paradigm, has been, I'm broken, I need to go to someone fix. And this has been a lot of light workers too, that has been in this recent past, you know, and there's no judgment in that. It's just, this has been part of the path. But where we are now in the recognition, because this reptilian consciousness that's here is being lifted off the planet, and this whole shift is going on, is that, you know, we are the light, and all we're doing is coming together as the one, as just a little element of who you already are, to simply match that frequency within you. So it's not about giving you something you don't have. It's about matching something you have to bring it brighter. You know, and so we need to recognize that within ourselves, that I don't seek anything outside of me. Okay, I'm just matching who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And that's the thing, you know, more and more of us are now, and I just talked a little bit about this with my own group earlier today and yesterday. And it is about all of us being who we are. We are source, we are creator, we are God, you know, manifest here in this reality. But it's about, really, do you really know that? Do you really have that knowing? Not just a mental concept, not even just an emotional concept, not just a concept, but a real knowing. And when you have that real knowing of who that is and what you are, then I think things start to change, because then your vibration and your frequency is different than it was before, when you were just thinking about it.
Yes, yes. And when you recognize that you already have all the things that you're seeking. See, there is the mind matrix that's the false matrix. It tries to tell you I don't. And people say literally, well, I don't know where my bills are going to be paid from. Well, that's true. But we never know those things anyway. That's the real truth, is that, you know, I mean, you have sort of avenues, but everything is an energy. So people don't understand. We're just learning that we truly are energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but all right. So anyways, let's move on to the next question. Michelle, do you want to unmute yourself? Because I mean, we can talk about that forever too. It's like, well, I don't have the car I want. I don't have the whatever, you know, but Michelle, hi.
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 Thank you for speaking with me. And I totally get what Caroline is saying. And just even recently, it's gotten better for me. So
good.
I do know that it can happen. And actively have to choose it because I can feel that old thing want to come in and I actively have to make the choice.
Yes. Beautiful.
Okay, here's one place where I know I'm making a negative choice over and over, and I have been refusing to change, and it's about binging on food.
Mhm.
And I don't even want to ask source. Like, I won't even ask. I just go ahead and do it. And I'm like, I know I'm doing it. I know I'm doing it. I know it's being seen. And I'm going to do it anyways. And there's just this resistance, reluctance to make any movement away or higher or to see what's underneath that. I would just like to know what you see in my energy around that.
In relationship to why or what that's about for you, or
How I could begin to address that.
well, I think it's the desire to. I think that what I feel right away, I mean, immediately it's because that's how you have joy, and because there isn't really true elements of joy that are that childlike feeling that you feel when that happens. And so that's what that is. And that's a huge story. There's a huge story around that with your energy that when you became an adult, as being an adult. I mean, that it's like there's so much information that came with that. It's like there's just a lot. So
Okay.
so to kind of be simple, it's that you're not allowing yourself to be really free and joyful. There's a holding. You're holding your energy. It's a lot like what Carolyn, but hers is very different. But that's what we do. We don't let ourselves truly be free for many dialogues. And this is just, there's a lot of subconscious dialoguing in your energy of a story that's telling you how you can't be free. So this is how you do it. This is your way of doing it.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Michelle. And so RB Standing Bear. Why do I never remember your real name, RB Standing Bear?
Rebecca Baines.
Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi. Well, you said the magic word, which is freedom, because I'm also a self-healing growth junkie. And I've also been very frustrated. And I think about all the things in my life I want to change, improve my health and finances and build my healing practice. And then I go, what's blocking me? What's blocking me? And I'm like, I don't think that's the right question. Like, I started to think just recently, I think I just need to move towards what is it I want? And I go, freedom. I want to be free of drinking too much Chardonnay at night, I mean, just so many things.
Mm-hmm. So this is going to be the topic because we are free, and it's that we don't let ourselves, because again, the story, if we've been indoctrinated with fear as our base frequency, everything scares us. So there's always a story that's behind it, right? On why I can't do this because of that, And so what we have to recognize is that and it goes back to like what Laura was saying, if we can truly just begin to get in that 0 point moment in the now, if I can simply say, I mean, if I can say it from energetic that I am source, but even just from this 3D human level, if I can simply just go, well, listen, I can only be right here, right now. It's all I can be, okay? There's only now moment, that's it. There's only this now moment. So I can, in this now moment, have all this dialogue, because this is the key, okay? The key is I have to take charge of my mind. That's the first most important thing to do. I have to take charge of my mind. This is my mind. Because your mind is the blueprint of everything you create. It is the outline. It's the mental picture. So it's the design of everything that I create. And then I give it an emotion, which is the fuel, okay? And if I'm in the privacy of my own home, if I'm in this now moment, I'm right here, and I am dialoguing, I'm not free, I'm blah, 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 whatever or I can't do this, oh my God, how am I gonna do that, blah, 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 blah. And not only am I dialoguing, but I'm holding an energy that's scared. I'm like, I'm holding my breath, okay, if I can do nothing else but let that go, because what do I have to lose? I'm right here. I'm in the privacy of my own space, my own home. What happens if I just for an instant let that go? What happens?
I'm not sure how to do that.
Right.
I mean, I've been trying in different ways, and different people describe it in slightly different ways.
So how to do it is to simply be in, you have to have an imagination that, there's lots of techniques, I can give you lots of techniques, but you can imagine, first times being the very first time of being anywhere, but you really have to get to that moment of like a little kid. You have to have that absolute, like, I just came on the planet. I literally, like, tell yourself, it's a dialoguing to yourself. That's what I'm talking about the experiencing yourself. If you have that experience that it's like, I'm brand new, because we are brand new. This is the gift we have as energy and spirit, is quite literally every single moment, every single nanosecond, we are brand new, because we are energy. There is no thing. This is what this divine 0 point is. 0 point moment is literally, it is the frequency of truth, which is the time of no thing and all possibilities. That is literally this now moment when we're there. That is literally it. There is no thing in the way, because there is no thing. I'm right here. If I can be right here, it's when I'm telling myself there's a thing, because I'm in my head telling myself. But if you were to watch yourself, look at yourself, your physical body is just right here. It's right there. And that's the awareness. It's like, quite literally, if you can just have that awareness that my physical body is right here, just right now, that's it. And so what is that experience? And then I begin to experience what is going on in my physical body. What is this dialoguing that's going on? And begin to ask yourself, do I like that dialoguing? It doesn't matter what you think is literally in your world, okay? It's the fact that I'm dialoguing to myself, and there's an energy to that dialoguing. That is what you start with, okay? What is a dialoguing, and what is the energy of that dialoguing? It's punishing, self-punishing, okay, right? It's a punishing dialogue that I'm doing to myself, okay? So you become aware of that, and as the observer, and if once you're the observer, you are your authentic self, and that authentic self then can step in at that moment. You begin to go, wait a minute, I'm self-punishing. What if I didn't? What if I didn't? What would happen?
So I feel like there's something missing for me, because I had this awareness like a couple weeks ago. Oh, wow. If I really am honest, there's a great deal of self-loathing going on here, and I'm seeing the evidence of it in my life, and I go, okay. So I noticed that. I chose to let that go, to like have compassion for myself, that I was raised, that was kind of in my blind spot.
Mm-hmm.
But then I haven't really seen any great, well, I can't say that. I have seen shifting in my life. I'm just impatient. I want to see more.
Yeah. And you will when you actually feel. You know, that's the thing, is we control our feelings. You know, I mean, I had a situation not very long ago that I became extremely aware of myself and very, very little, and a lot of things that had taken place and I hadn't truly felt. And when I was able to really, really, really let go and feel that, it was amazing how different you feel in the now moment when you really let yourself, because again, think about it, we're so used to controlling everything. And then as you become an adult, there's always a mechanism that still doesn't let you completely be free to feel, just to feel. Because there's a story that'll say, you know, well, I can't do that because if I lose my mind, or I have to hold on to this, or I have to, you know, keep thinking about this situation that I need to fix. But why do we do that? This is all part of this false matrix that has convinced us to hold on to this mind stuff in order to have a life. But that is all false. Because if I do that, then I'm never creating new. I'm holding, okay? So we have to be able to let that go. We have to be able to recognize that I am in control. I am in charge of all of this. The mind, the body, the matrix. I'm in control, okay? I am. And even if it's just a simple recognition of the now moment, that I'm in control in this one moment of what is going on in my mind. And I have a choice to self-punish or not. And if I get to a point where I'm stopping self-punish, then you'll get to the next layer of what the real emotion is.
Okay, so if I find that, okay, I'm doing self-loathing, right? Or I'm saying something to myself that's very unkind or cruel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I notice it, I choose not to, and then I feel whatever that's about. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So here's the other thing that's going on. I think this will be helpful too, is you have to imagine that, so as I said, that there is a time in our chronological life where we are fully our multidimensional self, our true self, and we're in the physical body. And that time is when we're very, very young. We're probably about the age of 2. So prior to cognitive awareness, to language, to us understanding language, is when we are our multidimensional self. We are literally in the now moment, free, fully present, okay? And then once we start to understand language, we become something. We become our name, we become a girl, a boy in our family, whatever, okay? So when we are able to step into this now moment without judgment, we are literally 2. We're a little tiny child, okay? So we're a little tiny child. So what you have to begin to imagine is that when you're in that moment and you have that awareness that you're doing the self-loathing, okay, that you're doing that, you have to have imagination that there's a little child standing there and that you want to become the most perfect parent for this little child, which the most perfect parent is you simply hold space for this child. So when you have recognition that you're self-loathing, you have to have the recognition that you are the parent and you are experiencing this child having self-loathing, okay? And so would we feel that and push that onto that child? Would that be what we would do? Right? No. We would hold the space for that child to have that experience, and we would be there smiling at the child, letting that child know that they're magnificent, but that this is an experience that child is actually having. So imagine what that would be like within ourselves, right? So imagine that, because what you're doing is you're actually judging the experience. When we have that self-loathing and it becomes, it becomes tense, I'm actually judging that experience. So I'm the parent judging on a child, right? But what if I don't? What if I simply am holding space and just having the curiosity of that experience, not owning it, not becoming it? You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, beautiful. Does that help, Rebecca?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. I'm
Yes,
glad you asked that question.
I'm going to re-listen to it because I feel like you said so much
Yeah.
profound wisdom that it's almost like running to keep up.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
I'm keeping your energy, so it's going to come forward. And yes, definitely listen to it again because there was a lot moving in there.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. Hopefully I'll remember next time. Rebecca.
Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farms.
There you go. Yes, I can remember that. Awesome. Thank you. All right. We're going to take 2 more quick questions from Maria, if you're there. Maria, are you there? Or, oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Maria. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi. Wow.
What's your question for Cathleena?
Cathleena, thank you. Again, you just answered so much in this last call. I think that's what it is. It's like I feel that I've done so much, especially when it comes to clearing like the inner child. And I'm just wondering if contracts, like prior life contracts, have things that I can't see. If you could see if that's running in my field, because I feel like I've from the last time you were on the show, you cleared so much for me, so I'm so grateful. And I'm stepping into this this other life, and it just feels like I'm confused in why I can't seem to let go of the past and let go of everyone, including myself, and just let life flow the way it should for this new time we're in, especially as what my heart is calling me to do more than anything is to just secure the path of a healer, what I'm here to share with others. And I've been told that it could be a great thing in assistance, but I just can't seem to let go of the circumstance I'm in. And I wondered if there was contracts that I'm not totally aware of, like personal ones.
All right, let's
Family.
see what Cathleena has to say.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Yeah, well, you have, it's all about a sense of knowing who you are. It's a sense of confidence, actually, that you feel, that I feel, that's very deep. And it's related around innocence, and there's an innocence of the child, and there's a lot of there's definitely a dominance that is in your energy that you're allowing, and it's because you're afraid of your own power and your true sense of the divine feminine. It feels like very, very commonly that I found this, this is all about the divine feminine, being able to step forward and in this divine feminine authentic frequency, it's really about owning your light and your your heart and your love. And that's what I feel with you, is that when you can allow that to come forward, allow your true divine connection as one with the earth, it's like you're more on the earth, and there's an energy, there's a lot of, you've got a relationship around you that doesn't want your light to truly shine because that individual doesn't let theirs shine. And so there's some dominance around that. And so what your sort of mission is to love yourself so unconditionally, to be able to allow your light to shine, to realize that you're simply allowing something to diminish it, and which I'm stepping in much more with you. And as I step in deeper and allow that to unfold, you know, it really is, it's just, it's encouragement to allow for your own energy and your own light to just unfold. You know, that's the most important thing first. Just let your light come forward. Let yourself come forward with your own light. It's, you know, this is a lot of what we keep doing is we're diminishing our light, we're hiding our light, because, you know, this eons of time, this false matrix has literally been feeding off of our light, but are diminishing our light. By us diminishing our light, see, everything's about an exchange, right? So whatever's going on in here is what I'm sending out there. So if I diminish myself what I'm sending out is that diminished light. And that's what this consciousness has wanted us to do. So all we need to do, everyone here, this is what we're struggling with now, is because, you know, it's just about us expanding our light and just, it isn't about necessarily doing anything. I mean, we can, but it's recognizing our divinity and that incredible self-love. And that's just what I feel with you. It's like that, and it's just, you have this beautiful light innocence, and it's just, it's allowing it to just come out, you know, just let it come out and recognize that the more that you do that, individuals around you either are going to go away or they'll go away. They'll just go away is what's just going to happen because they can't handle the light that you are. That's just really, so you can continue to diminish it and stay in that, or you can open your light and they will go away because they can't handle your light. It's just, it's the frequency. So that's all that's being desired of you, is for you to just breathe and expand your light. Everybody here, everybody just keep expanding your light.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Does that help, Maria?
Yes, it does a lot. Thank you.
Expanding it.
Thank you, Cathleena.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you have a fine frequency. It's a finer frequency, so you may feel a little bit more sensitive, especially if somebody's yelling at you. You know, you may tend to care a little bit more because of that fineness to the energy. So just take a breath and imagine expanding it out. It's beautiful crystalline energy.
Okay.
Yeah. You have a session sometime because there's a lot we could do. I'm looking at your energy and help you align where you are, because it's a different frequency. I can work with that for sure.
Okay, then I'll do that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Laura.
All right, Pat, we're going to take one last question from Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Hello. Thank you so much for all your wisdom, and just feeling everything you're saying is just awesome.
You're welcome.
Each day I'm asking, is there an attunement or clearing that you're feeling for me? Each day I have different experiences, but I kind of like to flow with it and be creative.
Mm-hmm. So is there a question? Or?
No, I just wondered if there had a message for me.
Nothing in particular that I'm feeling. No,
Okay.
I don't, and I don't typically do messages like that anyway. It's
okay.
more of, if you're stepping into an energy and if you have some question.
Yeah, if you have a specific question, Pat, that would be great.
Is there something, a specific way I can ground more with my physical body?
Yeah, let's take a look at that in terms of grounding. I think you're doing quite well. I would, you feel very grounded actually to me. So, I think you're doing quite well with that. So I don't really have anything to offer because I already feel you. I mean, even as I stepped in, I'm like, well, she's really going down into the earth. If you want, what you can do more is, because when I'm watching your energy and the grounding you're doing, you're going to like a point right into the center core.
Okay.
But you can expand that. So what I would do is, in a visualization, imagine you're going down and you can expand it open like that and allow it to connect more with the frequencies of the core, because I think that that's going to really help you. I do feel that that's going to come up around you and start to dialogue a bit more in your field, some of these frequencies that are of the ascension process.
Okay.
You know, and are you a practitioner? Do you also do?
Yeah.
No?
No, I just try to send love to humanity every day and
Yeah.
the toning bowl, and I try to get out in nature,
Okay.
stay heart-centered,
Yeah.
and love when I'm guided to whatever energy I'm guided to do.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of frequencies that'll come in. I can see them coming in around you, and I think they're going to start kind of alchemizing more with you. And so, yeah, when you're speaking to people, it'll be offering a lot more of the ascension process. And I encourage that for you, because I think you do have a great ability. So I think that is coming in for you. Allow your energy going deeper into the core. Let those core frequencies. Imagine that you're like kind of stepping your energy down into the core, and I'm watching the core come around you like this, and then all these geometries are stepping into your field, and they'll start kind of alchemizing and aligning for you. Some different.
I'm just vibrating. My whole body is vibrating.
Yeah, because it's happening. As course, as soon as I start to say it, I'm watching it already doing it. And so, yeah, the geometries are coming in and they're balancing. I'm taking them into you, and you can feel that into your body. Take it into your core, and we can bring it in and kind of resonate it into your core. I'm going to spin them through your core because I'm watching that happen. And
Thank
bring
you
it
so
down
much.
to your body. Yeah. Yeah. And I would encourage you, I think you have something to say, to write. So maybe journaling, I think you have something that's going to come out of you to write. So I would definitely encourage that, especially with what just took place. Let that come in more. You may want to sit and have a session as well, because we could go deeper in that, because I was looking at this whole complex that's coming in for you. So that's interesting.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. That's great, Pat.
Great.
Thank you.
Grateful. I love you, Laura. God bless, and I'm glad your husband is recovering.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Much love. Much love.
All right. So we are going to do a process. We still have time to do a process. Yay. But Caroline is asking, is there a way to have a session without all the MP3s? She just wants to have a session. She doesn't want the MP3. She just wants a session.
Yeah. I mean, well, you can go to frequencyadjuster.com and I have sessions that are on there. You can take a look at that. I will have the CathleenaHailley.com page up. It's being worked on right now. That just goes to Facebook. But yeah, frequencyadjuster.com, which we can talk about the frequency adjuster as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So I want to talk briefly about the special offer page and package, and we want to talk about the frequency adjuster, and then we're going to do the process.
Right.
It's like, so for those of you who are on the live page, you can just click on the special offer. And those of you who are not, you can go to alara.at/show/Cathleena1. So I'm just going to also put that in the chat here for anybody who would like to get it from here. All right, there we go. So Cathleena, this is a new package that you just did. It's not the same as last one. The last one was mental, I think, maybe, and this one is more about the emotions, right?
Yeah, this is the second one in the toroidal field series. So the one that we did last is the first part of the series. This is the second. There'll be a third. So I actually would recommend, if you haven't, to do both. And one thing I will say about them, even though certainly people can have a session without them, but they are pre-recorded, but they're always in the now moment. And so you will have them experience it in the now. They are activations. And so the activations also take you a lot deeper. They are working in your energy. And like I said, even though they're recorded, it doesn't matter, because they're in the now moment. And so it is, and what they're doing is they're going to bring into the 0 point and clear out a lot of those emotions, we'll call the false emotions that are sitting in your heart, that are not only being used to create in your world, but they're keeping your geometric heart complex from coming into its full diagram, so to speak. There's an actual heart. The heart is a technology, and it has an actual crystalline complex. And by this false matrix that we've been doing, and all these ways that we've been having emotions that are not authentic to us, and this is a lot of things like with Caroline too, is having those things in your heart that is keeping that complex from coming into its natural geometry, will continually cause us to pop back into our head. And this is some of the reasons that we feel, I keep doing this, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working, is a lot of times because the actual geometry cannot come into the form, the crystalline form. And so this particular series that I'm doing actually allows for that possibility to come in as you bring your soul signature in more, because it takes away. Imagine thinking about it like if it were a structure that had locks in certain places in the structure, and that structure was a design that only allowed for, a certain amount of something to come into it, and it had locks. And so what we're doing is taking those locks off, and then imagine if you took the locks off and the structure suddenly shifted into something totally different. And because it did that automatically, now other things can just automatically come in. That's in essence what happens. That's what's happening for all of us within the heart. There is an actual technology that's coming in for our crystalline technology to come in. So this is not, I feel it's something important to experience in this process of us really authentically stepping in as creator beings. This is part of this unwinding thing. It's not to say that this is the only method, but I'm saying that this is important, I think, especially for those that are having these struggles, that we've talked about today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, so this program is available at alara.at/show/Cathleena1. The older one with the mental concepts, that one is still available at alara.at/show/Cathleena10, I think it is. But I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If you wanted to also get that one, or get that one first and get this one, whatever, it doesn't really matter, really. It's up to you. But please do take a look at it. So, so Cathleena, I want you to take a moment also to talk about the 1 hour Zoom session. What can people expect, and what does it look like for them? After they've gone through the 5 sessions, they don't really have to, but it is helpful if they can go through the 5 sessions and then do the session with you, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. Whatever order, whatever they choose, however they want to do it, depends on, it doesn't matter. Because it's all gonna work out either direction. Because time is not real.
Yeah. So
that's kind of the thing, is it's, and especially the way that I work. So a little bit about myself, for those that don't really know who I am, is, I'm what's called a frequency alchemist, but I have within my soul signature what's called the perfect pitch. And what that means is that I have in my energy the ability to recognize all frequencies at their 0 point. And I've actually been indoctrinated recently with 2 other collective energies. One is, I couldn't tell you the name, was something Mula, something, but it is the frequency of matter, and it is the authentic frequency of matter, and that collective energy came in and reorganized my entire physical being to the, we'll say, perfect pitch of matter. And then there was another consciousness that came in that is the consciousness of creation, and it also alchemized my frequency into the perfect pitch of that. So these are all within my own frequency. So when I step into an individual's energy, those things are already getting alchemized and organized. And so this is kind of what happens for me. And in this, it alchemizes on all kinds of levels, all archetypes, lineage. You know, it's also universal with the Akashic records, as well as, you know, the Earth Akashic records, and then the universal. I also have one of my eyes that reaches way out to beyond this universe and beyond. It's bringing in codes and technologies that begins to shift and change as well. So when you step in a session, it's kind of evolved depending on you. And I often, you know, not that I work with all kinds of people, I do, but I often work with lots of people who have worked with lots of people and have a lot of different lineage, because, you know, with the way in which my particular design of frequency, it allows for things to be adjusted that couldn't otherwise necessarily been, or, you know, shown up. And so often, you know, there'll be contracts that I can see, and implants and all sorts of things that are sort of keys to what's keeping your soul signature from showing up.
Awesome. Wonderful explanation. I love it. Thank you. And so each session is going to be different, because based on what the person, you know, is coming for, they don't even know about what's showing up in their energy field at that time. And then automatically the work starts to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Things
Yeah.
start to change.
Yeah. And it's happening on so many levels. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. Good. Thank you. So again, that is available for all of you at alara.at/show/Cathleena1. All right. So please do take advantage of that. So Cathleena, I want to talk a little bit about the frequency adjuster before we do our process.
Sure.
I have mine.
I have mine. Yes. Yes. So this is, the frequency adjuster. It creates a 0 point. So this is a channel technology. I channeled it from the Arcturian Collective, which is one of the collectives that I originate from. And so what this is basically you without an ego. So this creates the 0 point for all of your body systems, your chakra systems, your connection to source and the earth. And so when you're attuned to this, you in your frequency of where you are throughout your lifetime, in your auric field, in your body, you know, because of all the belief systems, so on, you've collected little particles that are like magnets that keep collecting more of that same frequency to you. Once this is attuned to you, it's as though your energy is coming into the 0 point, into that now moment, and those particles are leaving your energy, so that you won't repeat a lot of the stories. If you hold it, if you sleep with it, it exponentially moves those out of your energy field. And so it's kind of like the experience of, like people say, near death, where they have their life pass before you. What you'll experience is like a lot of sort of memories and energies that pass, but they're not held. They just sort of move. So this is also, I think, a really great time to have this, because again, this creates a 0 point for now. And this just will allow you, when people have talked about how they can get their energy expanded and then a few hours later it's contracted, this can help keep that from doing that, because you're able to have a 0 point that you are aligned with, you know, regularly. Because normally, if we didn't have on the planet a collective energy that was bombarding us with frequencies to keep us in fear, we wouldn't necessarily need something that is a 0 point. And it's not that we need it, but that is so helpful, right? Because we're constantly being bombarded with things to push us out of it. And the more light that you are, and a lot of the light beings that are practitioners are struggling even more with this, particularly now, because these frequencies are so intense and so strong coming in, that it's a great tool to allow you to have that 0 point.
And this is available at frequencyadjuster.com.
Yes, frequencyadjuster.com. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just as a little side note, I have coming out, this is a frequency adjuster for the human template. I have a new one that's for the earth template that I'm actually going to put on a t-shirt, and I will let you know. And it's really cool. And this one with the earth template, I'm actually creating it for different frequencies. So the first one's going to be for the frequency of abundance. And so you'll be able to have abundance in all relationships in the authentic frequency that you can have, you know, on your body. So
Awesome.
yes,
Good. Thank you. All right, so Caroline has another question. I laughed when I saw it, but I have to say. So Caroline said, after a session, have you seen clients stop drinking or stop overeating, or what kind of changes have your clients experienced? Again, I am looking for results. Sorry and thank you. Well, I think, Cathleena, you did mention about cancer, helping people with cancer, helping people with MS and other stuff. No guarantees on the show. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but what else have clients experienced, or you yourself?
Yeah, everything that you can think of, from the physical body, miraculously shifting and changing, abundance coming in, relationships coming in. But you have to remember, though, that really the first things that occur is the releasing. So very, very often what happens is the tremendous releasing of all those frequencies that are not aligned to you. And once you're able to get into the 0 point, then there's the expansion of your authenticity. And with that, I mean, tremendous. I mean, I've experienced all kinds of things with people where, everything from what lives that they really desire. But I have to say that, you know, when people, if somebody comes in and they say something like, well, I want to win the lottery, it's like, well, usually, you know, I mean, all the time, I'd say that when the sessions are done, or if they do one, or sometimes there's more than one, they realize what they're really looking for, you know, and they end up with way more than the lottery. So, you know, because it's always what is the energy, what are we really seeking, you know, and that's what comes forward. And this is where everybody's having struggle, because we have this idea of what we think is going to bring it, not feel what is bringing it. What are we really looking for?
Awesome.
So yes.
So lots of stuff, Caroline. Michelle's asking, what's the difference between buying the frequency adjuster by itself versus a frequency adjuster with having an activation along with it?
Yeah, well, you get both, you know, when you get the frequency adjuster, that you have the handheld tool, and then you have a private session.
So the activation is basically a private session with you.
It's a private session. Yeah. Well, yes, if you do that. Yeah. I mean, activating it to you is one thing. So if you attune the adjuster to you, that's one thing. But yes, if you have an activation as a session, so it's a private session that you have. And I do recommend that when you get it, because once you align to this, a lot of things are going to start moving. And having a session with it means that we can exponentially move those and shift and really take you in lots of ways. And then you're aligned to this at the same time. So it's a great way to just keep expanding, you know, your own light and who you are.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Michelle, for asking. Yes. Okay, so let's do a quick process if possible. Sure. I've been promising them we're going to do a process. I know sure. We've gotten a little bit over time, but you know, I was like, if we can do that, that'd be great. Because I love the process we did last time. It was so beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know what we did last time. So it's all authentic to where we are. Yeah. So we'll just move in the energy, and I'll see what expands. I think what I'll do is I'll just take everybody out, and since we're working with the spiritual feminine, you know, we'll release any false aspects of that and allow for much more of your soul signature to step in. I think that'll help a lot of some of the things that we're working with today already anyway. Okay, so let's see where this goes. All right, so if everybody who's here wants to close your eyes and start taking some nice deep breaths. And we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just letting go. We take a nice deep breath. Just keep breathing. I'm just going to clear off this. It's like a construct that I see over many of you. Actually, take a deep breath. This is around your head, and it's keeping you from feeling the freedom and the joy and the life and the light. It's almost like a cap on your head, and I'm going to just remove that. We're going to sever any contracts and agreements to participate in this 3D matrix, false matrix. Take a deep breath. In this forgetting who I am. I'm going to remove this from the very center of your brain. We're going to unhook this it's a false masculine frequency from the center of your brain. Take a deep breath. And the dialoguing, the frequencies that are, it's tapped into the brain stem, and it's affecting the nervous system. So I'm going to unhook it from the brain stem. Take a deep breath. And I'm going to bring in light. Actually, just keep breathing. I'm still unhooking. I'm going to take off. It's like a kind of like a shield or a sheath, kind of all down the spine. I'm going to pull that out. It's like a covering over the spinal cord. This is all these dense frequencies that have been keeping you from feeling. Just going to remove that off. Take a deep breath. Taking it off the entire spinal cord and the central, the peripheral nervous system. So we're going to continue to take that off. Take a deep breath. Just releasing that off, and we're releasing out all this influence. It's a dialoguing influence out of the head, out of the hair. Just going to let those float out like little particles. So we're bringing more light now to the entire central peripheral nervous system, brainstem, brain. We'll carry that through all the way to the fingertips, the toes. I'm going to expand you out 360 degrees. I'm just going to expand you so that we expand you out. I want to take you all the way out to the organic grid and plug you in 100%. So taking you outside of this false matrix. So we're taking you outside of the influence. And I'm going to plug you in. Take a deep breath. I'm going to open up your heart complex. I'm going to spin that out with this very high frequency diamond white light and call forth our creator, source, your divine source, as we open that heart complex to reach to plug in directly to source. Taking a deep breath. And open your crown, plugging you into the dark womb of source, your roots into Gaia, as we're clearing through your heart complex directly to source. It was good. It was clearing out. Now it's coming in. So your creator is now sending this beautiful golden light into your heart, through into your entire vascular system, your entire being, entire connective tissue. These codes of your divine truth, of your reason for coming here. Your whole being is filling up with this truth of your creator. So we fill that with your entire body into your field. So take a breath. Letting this recalibration of your carbon DNA taking place in your body as we're starting to bring you back down. This is reestablishing that 0 point, the authentic 0 point of your pure soul signature existence upon this and with this earth. So we bring you back down into your body. Coming back down into your body. Aligning with those codes of your divine creator and Sophia Gaia. As you feel ready, you can come back into your body. Open your eyes when you feel ready. Tell me how you feel.
Oh, I was yawning through the whole thing. Yeah, even Michelle says numerous yawns. But I also, for me, I also felt like or experienced a lot of ringing in my ears, right? As the frequencies were coming in. I don't even know. It's like, I feel like we were gone for like a long time, but I know we weren't, but I'm still yawning.
Yeah, it's because that's a lot of clearing. That's what's going on, the yawning. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of clearing.
Yeah, Caroline said yawning and my heartbeats were so strong. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, you know, part of that is also about, you know, allowing yourself to experience the clearing, allowing yourself to release and let go, right? And then when we were coming back, that you know, embodying those frequencies in here and now also, right, is a big thing. It's not just about all the work there, it's about really embodying it here and now.
Yeah, well, what's happening is a recalibration. I mean, that was very profound. It was an unhooking of the matrix in the mind and clearing. It took that sheet off of the whole nervous system. So anybody who's having any nervous issues or things, whether it's stress related or physical, those are going to shift in the body now. Definitely the mind is going to shift, you know, where we are. I've expanded you in the field. Direct source came in, recoding. So that's being recalibrated. You are going to start to feel much more of who you are, why you're here. I think what the experience will be is a much more calming and coming into a now moment. You may not have any awareness of what next steps are, but all of the dialoguing and things will begin to shut down and slow down. Do not be alarmed if you lose your mind. It's okay, it's good. You're going to lose those aspects, and that's what's happening. Coming into that now 0 point, I can feel it all. It's all happening with everybody. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to continue. It's going to continue to come forward. So I would definitely take a bath. I would take baths in Epsom salts, drink plenty of water, get out into the sunshine as much as you can, rest, but allow, because that was huge. It's going to be continuing to shift, and it definitely unplugged you.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So Beth said lots of yawns still, thank you, and ear popping.
Yeah.
Michelle's asking, does it help to repeat this clearing activation?
Yeah, I would definitely do it. I probably do it for the next maybe 15 days. I would do it because it was very profound healing that took place here.
Yeah,
for sure.
And lots of energy in my neck, sinus, head.
Because that was huge in clearing. I can feel it. It's all going on definitely here, and I can feel it. Yeah, the immune system. Sure, there's a lot happening.
And Gina says, I felt tingling in my fingers, ears ringing. I was cold when we started. And as you went through the process, I got really hot. Good.
Yeah.
Dave says, thank you. Very powerful. God bless. Good. Awesome. You know, and so, and Maria says, thank you. Soft feeling, which is also great, you know. Yeah. So it's going to be different for everybody, right? So just allow yourself to experience it and continue with it. So yeah, like Cathleena says, drink water, walk around, get some sunshine if you can, if there's any sunshine anywhere in the world. Here we have no sun for like 3 months. So it's like, yeah, it's okay. It is what it is, right? But take that bath if you can, Epsom salt, sea salt, you know, whatever you need. But be gentle, right? Yeah. Diane says, thank you. I can feel a shift, particularly in my left arm, I think, where I have a block. Good. So let it continue to work through. Yeah, it's going to continue. I think you're going to have a lot of more openings and allow. I think for those that have been struggling in that more dense, that's going to just alchemize and go into a place of calm, clarity. Nice. Well, Rebecca, send that brilliant sunny day here to Vienna, Austria, or at least my neighborhood where I am, right? So it'd be nice to have some sun. Awesome. Good. So Cathleena, anything else you wanted to share with us before we go today? I know we went long. Yeah. Well, just stay tuned. And, you know, I am going to have a website up soon, and I'll have activations and things on there. So you can look for that. And then, of course, I will, I'm sure, join you again, Laura. I love you and your program. So I look forward to coming again. And awesome. Yes, absolutely. I love it. And again, the package is available at alara.at/show/Cathleena1. And take advantage of that. If you want to get the older package, that's available at Cathleena 10. If you're looking for the frequency adjuster, go to frequencyadjuster.com. Take a look at that. That's through Cathleena's site specifically. And yeah, just be gentle with yourself and just, you know, try and be as observant with yourself as you can be without judgment, right? Beautiful. Without judgment. Yeah, without judgment, absolutely. Without judgment and without expectation. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say, if anybody has any questions, feel free. You can email me at CathleenaHailley@gmail.com.
Perfect. Good. So yeah, this was powerful. So again, be gentle with yourselves. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here as we launch this new season, winter, spring 2021. It still feels weird to say 2021. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right. It's like,
Yeah.
it feels weird. And thank you so much, everybody, again, for your support, your love, your blessings, your prayers, your energies, your healing, all of that. I am so grateful. My husband is so grateful because every time I see him, I tell him all these people are praying for you. And, you know, so he's like, yeah, so grateful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, everyone, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Thank you so much, Cathleena. Another wonderful show. Thank you.
Here, take care. Blessings.
Bye, everyone.